Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Launched in 2012, the Omega Speedmaster Racing Series is the modern heir to the original Speedmaster Reduced, and in particular, the Speedmaster Reduced Michael Schumacher series from 1996. The revival, if you will, is 40 millimeters in diameter, and it's nicely sized, being neither petite like the original, nor quite as large as the traditional Moonwatch. It is an automatic, it is a column wheel chronograph, it is a coaxial chronometer, so it packs tech that you won't get in a Moonwatch. A driver's watch, not a flyer's watch. It's 40 millimeters on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and let's give ourselves a little bit modified lighting. You can appreciate the fact that it's fairly narrow across the wrist, so it wears well on a smaller forearm. The timepiece from lug-to-lug is a rather surprising 46 millimeters. That is quite compact, and even when you include the solid end links, it's only 50.5 millimeters across the wrist, so if you can wear a Rolex Daytona, you can wear this. The timepiece does have a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs, so 1 millimeter larger than the old Speedy Reduced, and of course the thickness, being a rather chunky complication, is 15.1, but it will fit underneath a jacket, dress, or sports, so don't worry about fitting it with a cuff. It just won't fit underneath the tightest of dress sleeves. One more broad shot so you can get a sense of the watch in proportion. It's very comfortable and substantial, and that's a feature it boasts that the original Speedy Reduced simply did not. The Speedy Reduced felt a bit insubstantial. You can see everything is changed here. All solid link bracelet, nicely executed, staggered link alignment and size. There's polish, there's satin finish, and unlike the original Speedy Reduced, these feature lugged, or I should say, links that are fixed by screws, not pin sleeves. There's a half link in there for fine sizing. You can see on the opposite side there's another half link, and then there are 3 stations inside the clasp, so you can make fine adjustments with a strap tool. The clasp, very solid, milled out, twin trigger release, inspires great confidence on the wrist. The case itself is simple. You can see there's a pusher adjuster on the flank for the date. That's what that's for. That's because it uses a Valjoux 7753 base to create the Omega 3330. It's the lyre-shaped lug, asymmetrical. As you can see, there's a little bit of a countersink to shield the crown and chronograph pushers from shearing, and then there's a satin finish along the flank to contrast with the polish of the bevel. The bezel is glorious, not flat like on a Moonwatch, but sloped, and you can see it's a sort of bumblebee pattern, a combination of yellow and black with the numerals in silver white. It's handsome, and the dial itself, well, it's styled to match. A combination of white indices which are beautifully bordered. You can see how they're bordered black to allow them to stand and pop against the satin metallic base, which is a sort of anthracite but brushed like stainless steel. You have sub-registers with a cross hatching. They're a gloss black. Then you have a few yellow accents well chosen, including yellow varnished chronograph seconds, minutes, and hours. There's a date hiding down at 6 o'clock. All of this 100 meters water resistant. There will be a loom shot. Turn it all over underneath the case back, reminding you that the Speedmaster family was originally part of the Seamaster family. That's why you have the hippocampus or the seahorse. You get 100 meter water resistance, so it lives up to its Seamaster heritage. The movement is 3330, automatic winding, 52-hour power reserve, free sprung, anti-magnetic silicone hairspring. It's been converted from the Valjoux 7753's cam chronograph to a column wheel, so it is very crisp. And you can see, even though it's a lateral clutch, there is very little jump when I start the chronograph, a testament to the engineering might of Omega. There's more going on too. So you get the 52-hour power reserve rather than 42, the column wheel rather than the cam system, you get a coaxial rather than a conventional Swiss lever escapement, you get a silicone hairspring rather than ferrous, and you get a free sprung escapement rather than a mobile stud index. Add all of it together and you are looking at a highly modified machine that is barely recognizable as what it was originally. In fact, the only clue you'll have that this was once a Valjoux caliber is the unidirectional rotor wobble. Omega has hot rodded this one. A high-end watch at an accessible price. This is one of my favorite Speedmasters because it has such a high ratio of value for the money. It's also a stylish tribute to motorsports if you're more of a wheels rather than wings guy. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox. Omega Speedmaster Racing by night. I should mention it also features stop seconds.